Hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenix and welcome to another little talk about Steam. Because some things have happened since I recorded the last video. So first off, the developer of Air Control has changed his Steam description page. So it's no longer a hyper-realistic simulator, it's a joke game. Presumably he's still going to be charging money for something that looked absolutely terrible. Steam just needs to crack down on this stuff. If somebody is willing to change their entire description of the game, then obviously how much do you actually trust them to make a fun game that people are going to want to play, and a good quality game that actually deserves to be on Steam? Steam just need to get rid of it now. No questions asked, bang, gone. We'll see you when you actually make a game. You know, don't even allow it to get into the selling stage. But Steam probably won't listen. They will continue to allow this stuff to get onto Steam, and it's going to impact everyone else. But oh well, never mind. Steam will get a little bit of money out of it. And worryingly enough, so will the developer. So, on that note, I am playing Banished for a reason while doing this. I was actually planning on playing Towns, considering the latest news on Towns. So, everyone knows that Xavi, the original developer of Towns, he had some personal stuff to deal with, and then he got creative block and he passed the game off onto someone else, basically, because the game wasn't going anywhere under his control. Now the new developer, Frankenberger, has stated on the Towns forum that he is abandoning the game. Can't say I'm too surprised, really. The reason why he's abandoning the game is not because he doesn't want to work on it, apparently. It's just that he can't work on it because it's not selling. The reason why it's not selling is because the game has been abandoned, and he's abandoning the game because it's not selling. A little bit of catch-22 there. Possibly if he started releasing weekly updates to Towns when he got control, then sales would have returned, but he didn't. He just thought, oh, we'll just release this update that's probably been in the work for months and people will come back, right? No, they won't. You need to show that you are actually willing to work on the game. So the deal was, his quote was, "I hope you're not too disappointed, and if you are, I'm really sorry. I'm quite new to indie game dev, and I couldn't really see that game sales were declining that rapidly. I guess if I had more experience, I would have seen it coming." He also goes on to say, "I agreed to work on Towns for 15% of what would remain after removing all the taxes and the Steam fee. To be completely honest, I can't work for that little amount." So, and yes, and he goes on to say, from that, Xavi and I were talking about possible Towns 2. At the moment it is just an idea stage, and we can't really say if he, I, or eventually Ben will have the time to create a Towns 2. So, why? Ultimately, Towns has funded development of Towns 2, but Towns 1 isn't ready yet. Their best course of action is to just open source Towns. Yeah, there is a modding community there, but some people don't want to root around for mods to fix the game. Open source it and just let the community fix the game. That would probably repair fences, because quite frankly I don't think even if Towns 2 looked like Banished does, I don't think many people would really trust them again. they would have to work very, very hard to regain people's trust. Just as the space engineers devs, I'll find that what the devs called for space engineers. The store page. Keen Software House. So Keen Software House worked very hard to win back their customers. Their first game, Minor Wars, wasn't particularly very good, and it was basically abandoned as broken. Space Engineers, even the alpha looks much better than that Minor Wars could have ever been. All the systems are in place in the alpha, and it looks incredible, and it works in a very, very good way. They worked very hard to win people back, and it just feels like the town's developers aren't willing to work to win people back. If he'd released updates every week or every month, he's had ages to start releasing updates for towns, but he just hasn't been. And that's why sales have been dropping, because he just didn't do anything to win people back, and that's a shame. But this is our future until Valve sort themselves out. More quality control, and hopefully we get more games like this. So I will just talk about Banished. Banished is a survival game. You control a town and you grow it very slowly. It's got seasons, and it has quite some very interesting methods of growing your town. So wooden houses are cheap to build, but you need a fair amount of fuel to kind of keep them heated, especially through winter. People will take hide coats to keep them warm. And let me just see, I just need to do a little bit of wait a minute. What? This isn't working, that location. I think I can, if I do that, then I can stop work there, and I can reassign people to work as labourers, I guess. Actually no, increase gatherers up to 8. Yeah, I accidentally closed the game. I didn't go for that one, I went for that one. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so you can reassign people depending on, yeah, it's all very, very clever. And do you know how many people worked on this game? One person made this. The graphics are pretty awesome, quite frankly. They've got weather cycles, they've got season cycles, so the world will actually change depending on the season. Crops will grow during sort of the harvest season, so there's no point in, say, working crops in winter when the harvest has come in. I'm going to increase that, and I'm going to increase that. And yeah, it's just an incredible game, and one person worked on it, and one person released this game as well. So this didn't go onto Greenlight, this didn't go onto Early Access, this was released as an actual game. And Towns wasn't. Isn't even finished, and it's been through the Early Access program. It's been constantly funded, and I just don't really understand why they would just abandon it, really. You know, oh, we're not getting the sales. Well, there's a reason for that. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a depressing few days in regards to Steam. I'm hoping that these incidents will cause Valve to wake up, but for quite some time they haven't woken up, and they continue to just let people run wild, and it's not particularly very good for anyone as a result. Anyway, that's been me, so thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.